So I came across this fascinating puzzle in the world of investing. It's a platform called Empowering Financial Minds, or EFM for short. Now, on the surface, it looks like this quiet, reflective, almost meditative space. But when you start to dig just a little bit deeper, you find something completely different. So what is it really? Is it a thinker's space or is it a trader's edge? Let's get into it. It all starts with a question that I think a lot of us have asked ourselves. Is there a way to grow your money without being chained to your desk, stressing out over every little market blip? Well, EFM seems to be offering an answer to that, what they're calling a different path. And here's their pitch. It's not about yelling. It's not about hot tips or big promises. They're positioning themselves as this calm alternative, a place for a quiet dialogue. Honestly, this is the kind of language you'd expect to see on a brochure for a mindfulness retreat, not a financial platform. So I went to their About Us page, and this is what it says. EFM is a thinking space. And the key phrase here, the one that really jumps out, is clarity, not just returns. They are going out of their way to say, hey, we're about the process, about understanding, not just the number at the bottom of your statement. And they even break this philosophy down into these community values. Check this out. Clarity over noise. Dialogue over direction. It's all about empowering you to think for yourself, autonomy over authority. But the one that really stands out is this last one, growth over gains. It really paints a picture of a community focused on personal development, not just the money. And this quote, wow, it just perfectly sums up their whole mission statement, growth over gains. I mean, that's a powerful idea, right? It suggests the real goal here isn't profit, but becoming a more resilient, mindful investor. It feels like the whole story, but then you see this. 51.17%, just a number, hanging there in space that doesn't really scream quiet dialogue or growth over gains, does it? It feels aggressive. It feels loud. So what in the world is this? Well, here's where it comes from. This is their 2025 portfolio performance, a return on assets of over 51%. To put that in perspective, they absolutely crushed the Morningstar benchmark, which is a really standard way to measure how the market is doing, which was sitting at just over 14%. All of a sudden, that whole not just returns thing feels a little bit modest. These are serious, high-performance numbers. And get this, it is not a one-time thing. Here's a post from their LinkedIn bragging about a 120% return on capital from gold futures. Now, for anyone who doesn't know, gold futures are basically high-stakes contracts to buy gold down the line. This is sophisticated, high-risk stuff. It's a million miles away from quiet reflection. In fact, it's exactly the kind of thing they said they were about. Okay, let's just put the two things side by side. On the left, their philosophy, this is not a platform for tips and trends. Simple enough. But on the right, their actual content, a super detailed trend-based analysis called NZ Housing Outlook 2026. I mean, the two just do not compute. So this brings us right to the heart of the matter. What is the real story here? Is all this mindfulness talk just a clever marketing wrapper for what is actually a high-octane trading group? Or is there something deeper connecting these two things that seem like polar opposites? And the answer, the key to this whole puzzle, might just be the founder himself, a guy named Vince Zhou. His background is this really unique combination. He's a chartered accountant, so you know he's all about the numbers, but he also has a background in psychology. And that blend of the analytical and the behavioral, well, that might be the missing piece. And you can literally see these two influences at play. On one side, you've got classic Eastern philosophy, all about balance and perspective, and on the other, a formal education in Western psychology from a place like Yale. So maybe this isn't a conflict at all. Maybe it's a synthesis, an approach where your mindset and your strategy are actually woven together. And Zhao himself puts it like this, reflecting on his own Bitcoin trades. He asks, is investing an emotional practice or a strategic one? And for him, it seems like the answer is yes, it's both. He's using these incredibly volatile strategic trades as a kind of real-world laboratory to test his own emotional discipline. And when you look at the breakdown of one of his trades, you can see that synthesis in action. This is not emotional, panicked trading. It's a totally clear, disciplined process. He's trimming his positions when everyone else is getting greedy. He's acting decisively when he sees weakness. And this is the most important part, he shifts into patience mode. It's all strategy, but it's guided by emotional control. And here's the key lesson he says he took away from it all. The real enemy isn't the price going up or down. It's your own stubbornness, your own ego refusing to accept what's happening. That's a purely psychological insight, but it's being applied directly to a high-stakes financial move. This is where the mindfulness meets the market.
And this quote from me, this is what solves the entire puzzle. Great traders don't win fast. They lose less. It completely reframes what success looks like. It's not about chasing every single dollar. It's about being resilient, being disciplined, and only going after the opportunities that actually fit your strategy and your mindset. The philosophy is what enables the performance. They're connected.
So when you look at what members of the community actually get, it all clicks into place. You get the deep philosophical dives, essays on things like cognitive bias, and you get the real-world application, portfolio notes, and market reflections. It's like a curriculum that's designed to build both the mindset and the strategy at the same time. Which really just leaves us with one final question. Is EFM actually pioneering a totally new integrated model for investing? One where psychological strength is the engine for financial success? Or is it just really, really brilliant marketing that's wrapped a high-performance trading service in the calming language of mindfulness? In the end, I guess the answer depends on what you see. A contradiction or a pretty powerful combination?